Hey, it's Jody Taylor of SnackySays.com. Welcome to my very first podcast episode. Welcome to the SnackySays.com featuring Jody Taylor podcast. That sounds like a mouthful. I may change the name of the podcast at some point, but today's mission, today's purpose is to hit record and then publish because I have all these thoughts on my mind. And I recently decided to start a podcast, like to really start it. So here we are. Today we're talking about fitness apps. I'm going to give you a little context and background about me and why I'm talking about fitness apps. I move my body daily. About 5 years ago, almost 5 years ago, this July 2022 will be 5 years. I call it my fitness anniversary or fitiversary, that I decided, I had an epiphany after a conversation with my cousin that where I had missteps or failures when it came to physical movement in the past is that I always saw it as like event specific. I'm getting in shape for a wedding, I'm training for, a 10K. And so like I would meet my goal, that event would be over, winter would come, and then would start this cycle of me kind of being in shape most of the year or some of the year and then not for the rest of the year. It's just starting over and over again. And so I realized that what I wanted was what I needed, what was missing was a lifestyle commitment, things, incorporating things that were fun, that were sustainable, that I could do over and over again all year round. I will post a link in the show notes where I talk extensively about this. I did a audio recording just kind of talking about what I now refer to as my OG fitness story. But getting to fitness apps, all of this was like pen and paper, like in terms of tracking or measuring or keeping notes. I had like notebooks and planners. Digitally, I did have a couple of apps that I used. Like when I lived and worked in Korea for a few years, I had a Samsung phone. That was my last phone. The phone before that was another brand, a Korean brand. And I would like weigh myself and I would type it in. But I never really had like a real-time app. So what changed? What changed is I'm in the States now. I have been for the last couple of years. And it seemed like everyone I knew had a Fitbit or, like doing these challenges. I was in Korea and they weren't available at that time for sale in Korea. And I'm just extremely late to the Fitbit trend. So I'm wearing my Fitbit right now. So that's the first app I'm going to talk about. So with Fitbit, it really keeps track of my steps. The last several years, I've always used a phone to track my steps and miles when I went for walks or hikes. But this is better because it's usually on me. It's not like there are days where, I'm charging my phone or I forgot my phone. And so, of course, it's not registering the steps. More importantly, it's counting my calories that I'm burning. Of course, asterisk, it's imprecise, right? All of the apps that I'm going to talk about are imprecise, but it does give me an idea. And I should say, trigger warning, I'm going to be talking about measuring and like fitness apps. And if that's not for you, please do come back to another episode, but you can stop here if it's a trigger for you or you're just not interested. That's cool. Respect. Okay, so that's the Fitbit app. And if you have premium, the Fitbit Premium, which comes for free for 1 year with certain Fitbits, maybe all of them. I think I have the Fitbit. I'll put exactly what I have. I think this is the Fitbit Versa. But the premium version with the app, you get workouts that I've come to really love and enjoy, and like meditation, like, it's cool. Check it out. The next app is MyFitnessPal. Again, here is another imprecise. I learned the very hard way, imprecise fitness app. What do I mean by that? Well, FitnessPal asks you questions like, are you a like an ice road trucker? Are you a postal worker, like to get a sense of your activity level? None of the questions really jived with me. So I ended up answering their questions, and for a time, the calories that it spit out was something like, I think it was exactly 1,432 calories, which is ridiculous to me. I was not eating enough. For context, I am 5'10". Does that help? I don't know. Like, does that indicate like how much I should be eating? I wasn't eating enough. I was super hungry. I actually have it written down for time. I won't go looking for this information, but over the last few months, I have increased, and after a conversation with my friend Amy, increased my calories. So now I'm at about 2,200 calories a day, or more. Sometimes I go over. Like, I had a week recently where it felt like I went over. Not felt like, I could probably just show you the screenshots. Like, I went over every day. So for my height and weight, my maintenance is really 2,400 calories a day, and I'm working my way up there. I should also say this is just my gut feeling, and I'm experimenting and exploring. I'm doing this just on my own, just kind of figuring out what works for me. So what I've had to do with MyFitnessPal is tweak my responses so that I'm actually, it's spitting out a number of calories that's reasonable for me. So for more context, I had decided several months ago, and I'll do a separate episode about this, what my sister would call like a come to Jesus moment. I decided I was going to change things. I was going to lose 30 pounds. I was going to get super fit. My fitness anniversary is coming up July 2022. 5 years of me working out consistently and daily, with exceptions. Hello, pandemic, and other and good times and not so good times over the last almost 5 years. And so, in order to make this goal, it's been lots of exploration. Again, using Fitbit, which I just started in January, and MyFitnessPal again started literally January 1st. I think I started using MyFitnessPal, and then more recently I've been using the Simple Intermittent Fasting app. There are a lot of intermittent fasting apps out there. But to me, this one was the cutest. I like the colors. I like the layout. And it's pretty interactive. I'm using the free version, but I will probably definitely upgrade to the paid version because they have all these little cute articles that are now locked to me that I'm curious to read. So there was one more app, which is an app and a physical thing. Renpho Digital Scale, RENPHO. I have a Renpho Digital Scale. And when I weigh myself, it sends it to my app. And that app is linked to MyFitnessPal and also Fitbit. So I have it set up, and the Simple Intermittent Fasting app is linked to Fitbit. So my fitness apps kind of sync. And so how I use it is, and I got this idea from two places. Hey, it's Juliana, that YouTube channel. She has a video where she talks about weight loss tips that changed her life. And that was the first place, not the first place that I heard heard about MyFitnessPal, but the first time I heard it and it was like, yo, you know what? It's time. I'm going to try it. And then the other video was how I lost weight, what I ate in a day by Cheap Lazy Vegan. And in that video, one of the things she mentioned was using MyFitnessPal for calories in and then Fitbit for calories out. And so then, and how I ended up using it, and I believe this is how she described it too, was seeing what the gap was in between. And so, again, at the time, I was trying to lose weight. Oh, by the way, I did lose the 30 pounds I wanted to lose. I did it in 23 weeks, and my goal was 24. otherwise known as 6 months. So super excited. And as of this recording, it's been 3 weeks and I'm maintaining my weight loss. 3 weeks in, lifetime to go. There was one more, it's not really an app, but one other physical thing that I started using that I had not used before, and again, started using this in January, is a food scale. So prior to this journey starting in November, I really didn't pay attention to my food. Asterisk. The asterisk being I wasn't, exactly eating like terribly. There were certain things I didn't do, like I didn't drink soda, for example. I did have some healthy habits, but it wasn't overly intentional, like my commitment to moving my body daily. So in November, I started paying attention to serving sizes and like looking things up on the internet and just kind of thinking about how my body felt. And so by the time January rolled around and I had like gotten into YouTube University with videos, a couple of videos like the ones I just mentioned, I realized like I needed something else. I needed something more. And so enter these fitness apps. So recap, the fitness apps that I've been using the last several months that I recommend. Sorry, there's a helicopter going overhead. I think you can hear me. I'm going to keep going. Can you hear me? Yes. So nope, hold on. Okay, I'm back and the helicopter is kind of fading away. Okay, so recap, the apps that I've used the last several months, Fitbit, watch and app, MyFitnessPal to track my meals and to track calories in, and then my Renpho digital scale to weigh myself. And by the way, I have an official weighing day, so every Tuesday I weigh myself, and I just count that number because it makes it easy. So for example, if for some reason I weigh myself on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Saturday, the only number that I count, I'm saying that like air quotes, but seriously, the only number I count is the Tuesday number. Like that goes in my official notebook. And like that's the weight that I tell people because I have my accountability buddies and my gang that helped me during my weight loss journey. So like every Tuesday I'd be like, this is my number, this is what's going on. And I'll talk about setting up community and accountability like in another episode. And then my food scale, I got it on Amazon. I think it might be the Amazon Basics food scale. I watched a video on YouTube that was really helpful that taught me how to use it. I'll put a link to that video. It has helped me so much because I just find that, again, because I wasn't focused on my nutrition all this time and on serving sizes and what is a serving size and then what is a portion size, meaning the serving size is a tablespoon. The portion size for me, maybe I need 3 tablespoons, but like I needed to know what was what and have a sense. So I have measuring cups, I have measuring spoons, and my digital scale. And I'm still not at the point where I could eyeball it and like I don't need them. Do I think I'll use them forever? Forever? Can you guess where I'm from? New York. Will I use them forever? Probably not. I'll get to the point where I can use like a regular spoon and think like, all right, 2 of these equals X amount of tablespoons or a tablespoon. It's fine. Let's move on. Okay, and I think that covers, I feel like I'm missing something. Fitbit, Renpho, MyFitnessPal. I guess those are all the apps. And again, I'll link everything below. Analog wise, I do have a notebook I call my fitness journal that I have all of my things written in. And maybe I'll do another episode about that because I do use digital apps, but I still use some pen and paper. Real quick, other ways to measure your progress if you've gotten this far and you feel like, I don't want to do all that stuff. how your clothes feel ends if you are on a weight loss journey or you're maintaining. So number one, how your clothes feel. Number two, tape measurements, body measurements. My first year working out, I think I lost 10 pounds right away, and then nothing for several months. But luckily I was using a tape measure and I could see the inches like just melting away over the course of a year. And then finally the scale, which is not another way, but what I'm using. And photos are another way. So you can take before and after. You can take a photo every week, every month, experiment and explore. That's basically what I've been doing the last several months, and be open and curious. I probably should have started with this. It can be extremely frustrating when you're trying to do something you've never done before. And then with the end goal of like, I'm going to do something, in my case, I'm going to lose 30 pounds and then I'm going to keep it off. All right, so this was actually longer than I intended for some reason, but that's that. If you have fitness apps that you love and you enjoy and I did not mention, please do let me know. I would love to know what you're using, or if you have thoughts on the fitness apps that I did mention, also let me know. Thank you for listening. Thank you for taking the time. This was, and will always be Jody Taylor of SnackySays.com. First there was a helicopter and now a plane. All right, I'm definitely signing off. Thank you for listening to my first ever podcast episode.